How's it going, everyone? Lou here, aka the DFS Data Dad, here to do another NFL Playoff Best Ball draft on DraftKings. So we're up in about 45 seconds. We have the 104 for this draft. I feel like I've been getting a lot of picks after pick 3, so 4, 5, 6 lately. My last draft, I was in the 101, ended up taking Josh Allen. But my last few drafts here over the next week or so, really hoping to up my exposure to Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Not good news coming from him lately. Potentially might not be ready for the wild card round. Some speculation of that, but hopefully he can get ready. It'd be good to see him on the field. I have a lot of Eagle shares with Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley. So really want to see him in that wild card round to make sure I absorb all of those points. But for this draft, I think it's safe to assume that Allen, Jackson, and Barkley are going to be the 1, 2, 3. But things can change. I don't have any shares of Derrick Henry just yet. So what I am looking to do in this draft is potentially go with a Ravens and Minnesota Vikings stack. Only because I know that I'll be able to get Sam Darnold later in the draft, and I don't have any shares of Mark Andrews. It's a good way to maximize all my positional points outside of quarterback. But who knows? Maybe Lamar Jackson might slip here. We'll see what stinky 429 does. And the suspense is going to be killing me. Okay, so as expected, Lamar went. I don't have any Derrick Henry shares, so we're going to go with Derrick Henry here. I need to get him into my portfolio. I feel a little nervous about not taking him in any of my drafts. We'll try to bring him back with Justin Jefferson, and then we'll see what we get on the way back. Still some ambiguity around... Wow, Jared Goff went 5. Still some ambiguity around the Lions and Vikings. Who's going to be getting the number 1 overall seed, therefore who will be getting the bye. So we're going to try to play as if everything stands today. The Minnesota Vikings will be playing in the wild card, potentially against the Rams now. The Rams are resting their starters, so they can slip into the 4 seed, which I don't know why they would want to do that, because that means you have to play one of the Vikings or the Lions, which is not a favorable matchup for them. So if I were them, I would be looking to win to retain that 3 seed, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we'll take Justin Jefferson here, 2 stud players that will be playing in the wild card round, and 2 guys that are on teams that have a high probability of making the Super Bowl relative to all the other lower seeds out there. So we are up in 16 picks. Not 16 picks. We have pick 16 coming up. I would love to be able to get Zay Flowers onto the team here. Mark Andrews is somebody that I haven't drafted yet, so I should probably get some shares of him. Jordan Addison is somebody else I'm looking to get to hopefully stack with Sam Darnold. So looking at the board so far, we can kind of get a snapshot of what everyone is thinking. We have a Lions stack. We have an Eagle stack. We have no real stack here. Potentially a Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl hunter here. And then we have a Bill stack here. So we're up one more pick. If I had to guess, this guy's going to take Zay Flowers to pair him with Lamar Jackson. Makes sense. Zay's been the number 1 target. He actually didn't go Zay Flowers, so I will go Zay Flowers there. And I will look to get Mark Andrews on the way back. If that doesn't happen, then maybe I will go with Jordan Addison. A little bit of a risk here with Sam Darnold. I would have to get him at pick 30 overall while his ADP is 26, so not completely out of the question there. The other thing I can do is I can just say no to Mark Andrews and go with Aaron Jones, another player I have 0 shares of, but Aaron Jones just went. Okay, so we are going to go with Mark Andrews here. If we're just looking at the board, we can see that everybody has a quarterback. I don't know if anybody's going to be looking at Sam Darnold right now, unless they pair him with Jordan Addison, maybe the guy on the wrap over here. But we'll take the gamble and we'll go with Mark Andrews. So now we have pretty much the whole focal point of the Baltimore Ravens offense. Jordan Addison just went. making me a little nervous about Sam Darnold. I don't know where I'll make up the points for that if he goes, but might try to bring it back with a skinny Washington Commander stack, just knowing that I'm going to get a lot of rushing yards out of Jaden Daniels. But we're up in 3 picks, looking like we might be able to get Sam Darnold here. The only drafter I'm really worried about taking Darnold is this guy, Stinky429, who I've been worried about taking all my picks so far. Kyron just went, so it looks like we have a Bills-Rams projected Super Bowl here. So Darnold is actually the best player on the clock. If somebody auto-drafts, he might go, and we might miss out on that opportunity. So we're 1 pick away from being able to get Darnold. Also, the other bad thing is if they actually beat the Lions in Detroit, which is going to be a tough thing to do. Okay, we're able to get Darnold. So then they would be on the bye, which means I lose out on Darnold and Jefferson, which means I'd have to make up the points elsewhere. Okay, so now that we have this all filled out here, I am going to start looking at players that I think can squeak out a wild card round win. I don't really have much exposure to, I was going to say, the Commanders. It would have been nice to pair Jaden Daniels with Terry McLaurin there. But now at this spot, I'm a little unsure of what to do. I could go Bateman and then try to get some other stack along the way here. Maybe another Pittsburgh stack, which is pretty ugly. Okay, and Bateman just went. So I'm looking to get points in this round. I am just going to take Jaden Daniels because I know he's playing this round. He's mobile. He's been throwing, passing TDs. He's been rushing. I'm happy with the floor there at the quarterback position in the wild card round. So now I'm pretty much looking to get points in the wild card round still. So I will put Bucky Irving up here. I will put guys like Jaden Reed, Cooper Kupp, George Pickens, J.K. Dobbins, all guys that I know are going to score points in the wild card round. So Bucky Irving just went. I don't have much of a Packers exposure here as I'd like to, but if I'm considering the roles and all of the players on the board, I think Cooper Kupp is probably the best player on the board, so I'll have him gladly fill in my flex there. And I will try to grab either one of Pickens or Dobbins on the way back. See how Justice Hill is looking. Justice Hill is ruled out for this week, which is fine because they don't really need him yet. So we have 5 picks left. I could go Isaiah Likely at some point and try to procure all of the tight end points for the Ravens. At this point, I'm just looking for explosive players in the wild card round. So if the Ravens and the Steelers end up meeting in the wild card round, Steelers are going to need to put up points. So I will take George Pickens as a bring back there. I will put Isaiah Likely on the board next. Maybe we can push him to the round after next, just because I have the majority of the Baltimore Ravens players. I will try to keep pushing that. So now that Keaton Mitchell is healthy, I wonder if he will start to develop more of a role and be relied upon down the down the stretch there for the playoff run if the Ravens get deep into the playoffs there. Same thing with Cam Akers getting a little more involved after Aaron Jones got hurt last week. I think they're kind of downplaying the injury. But if Aaron Jones does happen to get hurt again, I think Akers would absorb all of that work, which makes him really valuable with a late round pick if the Vikings do go on a run here. But we'll see. We are up in 3 picks. We can see how the draft is shaping up so far. Team 1 has taken all of the Bills players, just going on a complete Bills run. Team 2 looks like a Chiefs stack here with some Bucks. Stinky 429. Just looks like he has a mix of a little bit of everything. I went for a Vikings and Ravens stack. We have this team, which is primarily Lions and Vikings, and then a small Buck stack. All right, so if we're looking at the board here, the 2 teams behind me only have 1 tight end. I'm okay not getting Likely, but if I had to pick, I would go with Dobbins here, just because I know he will be getting points in round 1, could be potentially playing in round 2. I'm okay with that. I think I will try to end my draft with Likely and then maybe 2 more pieces from the Ravens. So Nelson Aguilar is back. Not that he's a sexy pick, but it's points if the Ravens do make it to the Super Bowl. Isaiah Pacheco goes. He's going pretty late in the drafts there. Tylan Wallace is another wide receiver on the Ravens, just does not have much of a role there. I think if I have to pick, it's probably going to be Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, just to kind of get all of those points there at the running back position for the Ravens if they do make a playoff run. But really looking here, hoping to get Isaiah Likely, and we will. So we pushed him, we were able to get him. So now I've kind of procured all of those tight end points with the Ravens. Oh, the other guy I can look at for Minnesota is Jalen Nailor. So past couple games, only 2 targets, but then the last game against Green Bay saw 5 targets for 81 yards and a touchdown. So really what I'm thinking there is if defenses decide to key in on either shutting down Jefferson or shutting down Jordan Addison, there's a lot to worry about on that offense. It could free up some opportunities for Jalen Nailor. On the running back side, I think Justice Hill will, secure his role once he's back to full health. But I do also want to consider Keaton Mitchell here because he is an explosive player just coming off a major injury. Last year, he was really making some plays for the Baltimore Ravens before he unfortunately got hurt. And he's been out all of this year, just came back late in the year. Overall, I think this is a pretty good draft. Seems like teams had some clear strategies here. No surprises with ADP. We are really just hoping that the Vikings do not get the bye here and they actually play week 1, because then we have Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson playing. If they don't play, then we just slide in Jaden Daniels and Cooper Kupp, which is totally fine to me. I think there's points there to be made. All right, coming down the stretch here, we have 2 more picks. I will take Jalen Nailor here, just in the hopes of that Vikings-Ravens Super Bowl outcome. And then last pick on the board here, I should probably go with Justice Hill. His role is, I think, more defined than Keaton Mitchell. It seems like they really trust him. He's had some spike weeks this year of over 20 points. Can easily get over 10, so if he's playing in the Super Bowl, I'm happy with the points there. I really hope Devontae Walker had more of a role this year, but unfortunately he didn't. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. We have 2 quarterbacks. We have 2 tight ends. I'm just going to go with Justice Hill here for more Ravens points. So we ended up with Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Justice Hill on the Ravens. If we do get a Vikings Super Bowl, then we have Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, and Jalen Naylor. And then some fill-ins for the first wild card round. If the Commanders and the Rams do play each other round one, one of these guys will move on, which is great. A good way to mitigate risk there. But Pickens most likely will be gone after round one. I think the Chargers are going to be playing in round 2, so get some points out of J.K. Dobbins there too. But unfortunately, some fades that we have are we don't have any Lions players, we don't have any Eagles, we don't have any Chiefs, and we don't have any Bills. So some pretty big teams to not have any exposure to there, but the hope is that if you diversify enough and you take some stands in some drafts on drafting specific teams, one of those will eventually squeak its way through the final. You just have to find the right configuration. Hit the nuts with the guys you're drafting, and hopefully you can move on to that final round, where the bare minimum is a $500 payment, and you are competing with 543 others for a shot at $500,000. So I think that was draft number 13 for me. Should have 7 more to go. The contest is actually about halfway full, so filling up pretty quickly there. But the goal is to do a draft a day up until the playoffs start. So that's it for today's draft. We'll be back for another one tomorrow, and we'll see who we're able to get. Thanks for watching.